Hello and welcome back to my channel. So today we'll be decorating a jar, and for that cover the jar first of all with white acrylic paint. You can even use house paint if you have, because that will stay onto the jar for a longer period, but right now I'm just using white acrylic paint. If you're applying acrylic paint to decorate the jar, you should cover it with varnish. Next, I'm going to take a piece of clay and I'm going to make the petals for my flowers. Take a bowl of clay and press it like this. Flatten its edges. Shape like this to form a petal. Then cut off the excess clay using a knife. Glue down that petal using white glue. You need to stick it before the petal dries. If the petal dries, you can use any strong adhesive like super glue. I've used my homemade air dry clay or cold porcelain here. If you haven't seen the video, I'll link the video in the description box below, and I'll also give it in the I button. Do the same with all the petals. Here I have formed a flower with 5 petals, but if you want you can change the number of petals like to 3 or 4 or even 6. Next, take a needle and start to draw lines on the petal before it dries to get a vein-like texture. I've made flowers like that around my jar. Next, we are going to make some leaves and branches. Here I'm rolling out some clay to make the branches. Cut off the excess. Glue that down using white glue. For making the leaves, take a small piece and try to shape it into a teardrop shape. Then press that with your finger. Shape it if you want. Glue that down using white glue. As I said earlier, if the clay has dried, you can use any strong adhesive. Once the clay dried completely, we can paint that. Next, I'm going to paint green acrylic color to the leaves and branches. The homemade air dry clay takes more than 24 hours to dry. If you're using that, keep that in the mind. Then I'll paint my flowers with red acrylic paint. This is what it looks like. You can even decorate it if you want. So here I've varnished the flowers. Next, I'm going to cover the top portion of the jar using air dry clay. Shape the air dry clay by dipping your fingers in the water. Once the paint dries, cover that area with acrylic paint in the shade Pearl Metallic Rust.